Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Fluctus Channel. The F-35B exists because the U.S. Marine Corps wanted a stealth fighter that could operate from shorter decks and rougher expeditionary sites than a carrier fighter. The F-35B is the short takeoff and vertical landing variant of the Joint Strike Fighter family. Built to do something that still feels unnatural in a modern supersonic aircraft. Slow down, rotate its lift system, and settle vertically like a helicopter onto the deck of an amphibious assault ship. During developmental testing aboard USS America in 2016, the F-35B's Pax River team logged 60 flights, 53.5 flight hours, 126 short takeoffs, 128 vertical landings, and 2 vertical takeoffs during the third and final shipboard developmental test phase. Those numbers matter because they show that the helicopter mode landing is not a stunt. It is a measured capability proven at sea before it could become routine. Before a pilot ever tries landing on a ship, the process begins in simulation. Pilots rehearse the transition from wing-borne flight to powered lift, learning how the aircraft responds as speed bleeds off and the control laws change character. A normal fast jet landing is already demanding. But the F-35B adds another layer. The pilot is managing a stealth fighter that must remain stable while converting thrust into lift. In real operations aboard USS Tripoli, that training shows up in the sequence of flight deck movements and recoveries captured during VMFA 211's Lightning Carrier concept work in April 2022. The aircraft approaches, slows, stabilizes over the deck, and then drops vertically because the software, pilot, and ship team are all working together. That transition is what makes the F-35B so fascinating. Inside the aircraft, the pilot is not flipping a switch from jet to helicopter. Instead, the propulsion and flight control system reconfigure for STOVL flight. The nozzle vectors downward, lift devices engage, and the jet begins balancing on directed thrust rather than forward airspeed alone. From the deck, it looks almost magical. From the cockpit, it is a disciplined process of attitude control, power management, and trust in a machine doing something no conventional fighter can do. Short takeoff demonstrations show the other side of that equation. Instead of a long catapult shot, the F-35B can roll, build speed, use vectored thrust, and leap away from the deck in far less distance than a normal strike fighter needs. The shipboard environment makes the sequence even more intense. On an amphibious assault ship, deck space is precious. The sea is moving, and heat from the aircraft is a constant concern. A vertical landing is therefore not only a pilot skill event, it is also a deck operation shaped by spotting plans, safety teams, signaling, and timing. Once an F-35B comes down safely, another process begins almost immediately. Deck crews marshal the aircraft, position it for movement, and sometimes guide it down into the hangar, as seen aboard USS Tripoli. That moment in the hangar reveals the full life cycle of the aircraft at sea. The landing may be the headline, but the real story includes every move afterward, from recovery to stowage to preparing the aircraft for its next sortie. That is why the F-35B matters to the Marines. It gives amphibious ships a fifth-generation strike fighter with stealth, sensors, and STOVL flexibility, but it also demands a pilot who can transition from high-speed jet procedures into a controlled vertical descent over a ship at sea. It is a stealth fighter that can land where helicopters land, provided the pilot, software, and ship all perform exactly right. The F-35B did not appear out of nowhere. Its deepest roots run back through the Harrier family. The jump jets that proved vertical and short takeoff combat aviation could be practical, not just experimental. The AV-8A introduced the basic idea to US. A fast tactical jet that could operate from places and ships that ordinary runway fighters could not. But it was the later AV-8B Harrier that turned the concept into a more refined and widely recognized Marine Corps capability. The Harrier could attack, recover to small decks, and operate closer to frontline conditions than many conventional aircraft. That legacy matters because every F-35B vertical landing carries some of the Harrier's DNA inside it. Even if the newer aircraft is far more advanced in sensors, stealth, and flight controls, the AV-8B's performance makes that lineage obvious. When a Harrier executes a clean vertical landing, it seems to pause between airplane and rotorcraft logic, using vectored thrust to settle down in a way that still feels improbable. The pilot has to manage altitude, descent, and power in a way that punishes sloppy control. That skill was learned over decades of operations, and the Harrier became one of the Marine Corps' most distinctive aircraft, precisely because it could bring fixed-wing attack capability into places where the usual runway assumptions no longer applied. By the time the F-35B arrived, the Marines were extending a culture already built around STOVL. One forged through difficult shipboard operations, hard lessons, and years of jump jet experience. It also proved, under real pressure, that pilots, deck crews, and maintainers could build a whole operational system around an aircraft that did not behave like a normal fighter. But Harrier history also includes the dangers of that style of flying. The controlled landing feature footage, taken at sea in 2014, captures a real reminder that vertical lift aircraft leave very little margin once something goes wrong near the deck. Landing gear trouble on a conventional runway is serious. On a ship or in a vertical recovery regime, it can become far more complex because the aircraft is already operating in a delicate phase of flight. That is one reason Harrier and F-35B pilots alike train so intensely for recoveries, abnormalities, and emergencies. Then comes the maintenance burden. The 2016 Gulf of Aden sequence shows Marines and sailors working directly on the aircraft, and that matters because vertical lift capability is never only about the pilot. It also depends on the maintainers who keep nozzles, gear, structures, and support systems functioning in harsh maritime conditions, and operational tempo all punish aircraft at sea. A flawless vertical landing may last seconds, but the hours behind it belong to crews inspecting panels, replacing components, servicing systems, and preparing the aircraft to trust its lift system again. This is the bridge between generations. The Harrier taught the Marines how demanding STOVL aviation really is, how useful it can be, and how unforgiving it becomes when anything goes wrong. The F-35B inherits that lesson with better computers, better sensors, and more advanced control laws, but not with lower stakes. So when an F-35B slows over the deck and drops into a vertical landing, it is not just demonstrating new technology. It is completing a process built on the older jump jet world of the AV-8A and AV-8B, where pilots learn to trust thrust, maintainers learn to support fragile vertical lift systems, and the Marines learned that the future of sea-based tactical aviation would belong to aircraft capable of fighting like jets while landing in places once reserved only for helicopters at sea. Once that lineage is understood, the story widens beyond the F-35B and Harrier into a broader world of vertical lift technology that is still growing. The MV-22 Osprey is one of the clearest examples. It is not a jump jet, but it solves a similar problem in a different way. By converting from helicopter-style lift to airplane-like forward flight. The significance of that capability was visible when the MV-22 Osprey landed aboard USNS Mercy, a real milestone for the United States and military aviation in general. That showed how vertical lift aircraft can bring speed and flexibility to ships that were not built around catapults or arresting gear. The same idea is now expanding into newer forms. Air Force reporting in 2023 highlighted a milestone for electric vertical takeoff and landing aircraft, signaling that eVTOL systems are moving from futuristic concept art into real testing and operational interest. The Lift Hexa footage pushes that idea into stranger territory, showing how a multi-copter-style platform can apply vertical lift logic to an entirely different kind of aircraft. It does not resemble a Harrier or F-35B, but it belongs to the same larger family of ambition. Aircraft that can rise and settle without the long runways traditional aviation depends on. Then there is the VBAT 118, shown operating from USS Michael Mansour during RIMPAC 2022. That demonstration captures another important real-world moment, because the VBAT is not just a drone that happens to fly. It is an unmanned system using vertical takeoff and landing capability to extend what a ship can do without requiring a full flight deck infrastructure. Contractors with Shield AI tested the VBAT aboard the Zumwalt-class destroyer, and the stated purpose was to extend the capability of interconnected manned platforms across the multinational force. That is a glimpse of where vertical lift technology may be heading next. Taken together, these aircraft show that vertical lift is no longer one narrow niche. It is becoming a spectrum. At one end sits the F-35B, a stealth fighter that can shift into powered lift landing over an amphibious ship. Behind it stands the Harrier family, the rougher, earlier generation that proved the concept in Marine service. Beside them sits the Osprey, converting between rotorcraft and fixed-wing logic. Farther out are eVTOL designs and VTOL drones, testing how vertical access can reshape transport and surveillance. That is what makes the F-35B's so-called helicopter mode landing more than a dramatic trick. It is part of a much larger technological movement, one in which aircraft are increasingly expected to combine the speed and reach of airplanes with the access and flexibility once associated mainly with helicopters. When that F-35B stops behaving like a conventional fighter and begins hovering down onto the deck, it is stepping deeper into the future that vertical lift aviation has been building toward for decades. That is the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure to subscribe to this channel so you don't miss any of our new content. See you next time.